Ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Representative James Comer, tells One American News that no one has taken advantage of lax work requirements due to COVID-19 more than government employees. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
Congressman Comer, why does the IRS have a backlog in processing these tax returns in the current tax year? Is this a COVID story, or is this a story about incompetence at a government agency?
All of the above, John. I'm going to put incompetence at the top. They're going to blame it on COVID, and COVID is partly to blame, but not COVID in general, but their COVID policies. No one's taken advantage of COVID-19 more than government employees. And that's a fact that probably offends some people, but that is a fact. And you have to look no further than the IRS. In a normal year, the IRS has about 1 million backlog cases to deal with. This year, they're starting out with 8.5 million cases of backlog tax returns.
What sort of leverage do you have maybe to get the IRS perhaps to respond quicker? Is there any way to mandate that workers return or get back to the job? And it seems, I mean, a lot of people might wonder, how can IRS workers be working from home? Because it would seem like a lot of the information on an IRS tax return is confidential. So do you get into some issues here of privacy potentially?
Absolutely. And that's why it's so pointless to have these government employees working from home and continuing to be paid by the American taxpayers, because so much of what they do, they cannot do from home because of privacy restriction. You're not allowed to use your home computer and your home Wi-Fi to access people's tax returns. That's just illegal, and they're not doing that. So the performance from the IRS is a joke right now. And it's just mind-boggling that they're still working from home. So what we've done, the Republicans on the Oversight Committee, first of all, we voted against the Democrat proposal to add 30,000 more IRS employees. We want the employees who are working from home to go back to work first. That's the good first step for the IRS. Get the people back to work before you ask for more employees. So hopefully that language, adding that many more people to the roles at the IRS and the Build Back Better plan, hopefully the Senate will continue to stand firm and prevent that.
It's interesting to hear you say that there are privacy concerns, so they don't allow IRS people working from home to use their computer, their home computer, or their home Wi-Fi, which begs the question, how are they working from home if they are working from home, which makes people think maybe they aren't working at all when they're home. But is this just perhaps the ramification of the result of a very permissive policy with regard to COVID-19 and the federal government?
This is another example of the government employees running the show. And you've got an administration that is always going to allow the government employees to do pretty much whatever they want. And you've got the American taxpayers who expect the government employees to work just like they've had to work during this whole COVID pandemic. With the policies that the federal government, the Biden administration, has had in place during COVID, you can say, well, I was exposed to someone. You know, we're all exposed to someone who's going to test positive for COVID. Well, I'm going to have to quarantine for 10 days. And the policies that this administration's had with respect to the government personnel is a joke. It's a joke to the American taxpayer. And to come out and just casually make an announcement that, oh, don't expect to get your tax return on time this year, we're way behind. It may be weeks and months before you get your tax return. That was just the ultimate slap in the face to every American worker who has worked hard during COVID-19.
Well, Congressman James Comer talking about IRS backlogs and the impact of COVID on the workforce of the IRS, slowing things down. Congressman James Comer, the senior GOP member of the House Oversight Committee, thank you for talking to us on One American News, sir.
Always a pleasure.